Get started. Mm. I don't even know if we're green yet.
Yeah.
Probably green man.
Seems to work. Yeah.
I think it's live.
Yeah, you are live. We are live, I mean.
We are live.
And it's gameplay in the background as well. That's nice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on a loop. That gameplay is going to be on a loop for the whole thing, but it doesn't matter. Hello, welcome to That Beautiful Life podcast. This is episode 120. Sorry, not 218 of That Beautiful Life podcast. My name, of course, is Curtis Campbell, sitting here in the beautiful red in the United Kingdom, talking to the beautiful Roger Bergstrom all the way in Stockholm, Sweden. He's above me in the. I mean, she's right up there. I should be looking up like that.
Yeah, I'm looking down. How are you, bro? How are you doing?
You know this. I'm all right.
Yeah. You're having something nice to eat, haven't you?
Yeah, my sister made she made curry.
Oh, good for you.
She made some curry chicken with some curry booty with some cucumbers, tomatoes, and rice. So
bring me that bowl.
I literally haven't even had lunch today. I skipped lunch and
no. What have you said about skipping meals? Daddy-do. Here I go again.
I'm trying to make up for it now. I'm trying to get some. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to eat as soon as So I actually had a sandwich when I came back. So when I came back from the shops, because I went to the shops before I came back, I was telling Roger about it. Had a sandwich, you know, and
you did? Okay,
yeah, good. Like a salami sandwich.
Like whatever snack in between before dinner, something. Good. Then at least you got something more than just this. Even though that seems to be a good portion of food and good stuff. It looks delicious.
It is. I'll probably have checked them.
I have eaten, but I got hungry when I saw that. What does that tell me or anyone?
It's so good.
For that set.
The curry chicken is the best part. Look at that one.
Oh, wow.
Man,
the good stuff. Well, another week has passed, and here we are again. The bros are back. I can start by so you can shoo a bit. I'm just gonna say first off. Oh, Nalu, hi. Hope you're fine. All the way over there. Yeah, because I was getting into weather. I am happy. We have been having good weather. It's been summer temperatures, and I'm just so glad that it's here. So that's good. But today I wasn't able to be out much. I took a little longer walk before dinner. So that was nice. Yesterday I did a test. I've been talking about that. I think I said that I would go to a neurologist. And this is something that isn't to be found at all hospitals. It's like different they have these divisions at some, and I was there, went up really early. I woke up like 4:30 yesterday morning. I didn't really need to, but I did. I was there 7:45, and what they did is basically they put like electricity through my hand and my fingers, and yeah, you can see like a diagram showing certain values that I didn't understand, but I understood what they were doing. They were checking the nerves, the 3 different main nerves that goes through the arm and into the hand. And it doesn't, when they turn up the electricity a bit, of course you start to, your finger starts to move, even though you don't want to. It looks a bit weird. Good morning, by the way, also Ocean Garden. Very much welcome.
Welcome, Ocean, welcome.
So that was interesting. And then, I'm going to let my colleague come in. And then another guy's come in. Hello, my tree. I'm going to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. So he took out it was quite a long needle. I was like, oops, he's going to put that into me. Very thin, though. And fortunately, I'm not scared of like, those kind of things. So it's okay. He put it into my hand, like, can you see? Yeah, here. And held it, like did some twerking with the needle and wanted me to move my fingers and to read the values. And then he did the same into my biceps and also my triceps. And I had to flex at the same time so they could measure. Long story short, what he said is, it's not carpal tunnel syndrome because your nerves and muscles seems to be okay, or seems most likely okay in your arm. But I hope you will do like what I've said before, also an MR, magnetic X-ray, like further down the line. And I said that is supposed to happen from what I know. So thank you for today. And I left and went back home. It was a beautiful day. It was actually quite nice to be early morning in the city before there's a lot of people as well. I don't go into the city as often as I did before. But even so, you're terrified of needles. Yeah, I know some people are. When I got the hi, also Rikosson, Rosan. I took when I got the papers, they sent actually a proper mail. They said, well, we're going to use needles. If you are, it's about the same feeling as if you get acupuncture. And I have gotten that quite a few times through my lifespan. So I know how it feels. It's fine for me. So yeah, it's all good. So I did that. Then I came home and I was like, and later during the day, Anneli came home, and for some reason, I don't know how it is in your country, but in Sweden, we have for example, an app. You can log in on your phone, you can log in on obviously the web browser, and it kind of connects a lot of services. For example, it can have something to do with the tax department, or it can has to do with well, as in this case also maybe hospital stuff.
It's an everything app.
Yeah, it's an everything, and it's kind of good. The thing though is that I don't look into this so often. I get a lot of mails into my main mailbox, and apparently I had missed a mail saying not really what it was, but it says like you have to go on to Kivra and check blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I'll do that later. This was like 1 or 2 weeks ago. And I logged in and I saw, and this is unfortunate, I was supposed to be at my regional hospital, you might say, where I live south of Stockholm, to do an MR, like the X-ray. And I was like, oh shit, I've actually missed an appointment. So what I did is that they said, call us back. And I was supposed to be there on the 28th of April. And that was like, shit, because the whole schedule now for me, sorry, it's so much about this in my life right now, but it's also that I'm going to this orthopedic doctor on the 29th. So I would like to do both what I did yesterday, but also the MR X-ray before I go to him. So I called them this morning. I said, excusez-moi, I'm so sorry. I'm stupid. I'm not looking into this app and I missed the appointment. What can we do? Well, she was nice. She was like, well, shit happens, and but I would probably have to pay like it's a service kind of thing. I think it's 400 Swedish kronas for not being at the appointment, unfortunately, but that's how it is. But I got a new time on the appointment on the 25th of May. So at least that is now solved. So fingers crossed that. But then yesterday also, doctors can be very busy, right? I saw that they had written the wrong, my doctor here that has made this possible. She had written the right elbow. It's not the right, it's the left elbow. So the X-ray people there had to call this morning back to my doctor to say, well, you have to rewrite the papers here because they're wrong. I'm like, no, not that as well. But with that said, I got to leave that. That's the update though that I have to give you guys, because as I said, it's been, the good news though is still that I'm getting slowly better. That's also what I want to believe. But there is an elephant in the room, and that has to do with, as mentioned last week, music. I haven't been playing drums since mid-March actually. So eventually I will start to have to try a bit and see how that feels. And yeah, that's that. I leave it there. I'm like, oh, okay. Other than that, it's been good over here. I mean, most of things are it's marching, forward.
It's smashing along.
Yeah.
And shout out to Elijah and Rico. I didn't say hi to
Elijah.
And I think Ocean said he's getting a new tattoo.
But that's interesting. If you're afraid of needles, but you can do that. That's okay. Well, if you want something cool, then you gotta stick with the pain for a second or two. Well, how long? A second or two. It can take quite a long time to make a tattoo. We have never talked about that, Q. Have you ever thought about getting a tattoo?
I think we've spoken about it, just probably not
Maybe
on
we have.
podcasts. I think we've spoken about it like in person or something like that. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, you have one.
No, I don't.
Really? Okay, then
No.
I'm remembering terribly. Then what am I remembering?
Maybe you remember because I said that Agent Adam has one.
Adam
My
is the
oldest
one who
son.
has one, right?
But he has only one, and it's a small rune here on his neck, actually. That's what he has. It's a Viking thing, I believe. Yeah, whatever. That's what it is. Oh, you're going to finish your background story for the D&D character. Cool. Yeah. But even so, no, I don't. If I can just fill in when it comes to tattoos. I've never really been to it. I can though see that on some people it looks good and pretty cool. I might not be the guy that like appreciate if it's all over like the body, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's not really. What do you think about those kind of like things?
For me personally speaking, if I'm speaking about like, you know, for me getting a tattoo,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like, when I was younger, I wanted to get one on like my shoulder.
Yeah.
So
what did you want it, or what did you want to get? Like,
I was thinking like my initials or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like my initials, or maybe something that says like, you know, cute for your pleasure or some kind of thing like that. Something awesome.
Yeah, I would have muffin and out.
Yeah, definitely.
A big blueberry muffin or something.
I
don't know. Yeah. That's how it is. I don't know. We'll see. But that's more or less my week. I've been so focused. I was happy to get rid of the examination yesterday. To be honest, it was, even though, as I said, it was nice. I had a good. It didn't really like hurt. So I'm okay with that. It's nothing. But yeah,
it's nothing.
That's over. Over with that.
You've been through the tough end of it. I guess for me,
maybe
it's been a week, I guess. You know, I mentioned you guys how I was feeling about work and stuff last week, and I think with this week it's just been sort of just, you know, like I've had friends come over. I've had like, you know, Elijah in the chat came over on the weekend, so we hung out. You know, excuse me, we had like the proper Trini thing where, you know, if you come over to a Trini house, you know, like the first thing you do is, you know, you offer them food, you know, like, oh, have you eaten? That's the first question. Have you eaten anything? And if the answer is no, then you give them food, you know. So for Trini houses, you should always have some kind of food prepared, or some drinks or something in case someone comes over. That's kind of like the tradition.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's how it works. So when Elijah came over, you know, we had something to eat, and we just sort of just kicked back on the sofa, and I think I was having a, what do I hear, a sound?
Will you hear something?
I think Ty is outside my door blowing on a noisemaker because I can hear it.
Okay.
I'm not sure why he's outside my door and why no one has stopped him from, because there's a bright light in the hallway showing that I'm podcasting, but I can hear it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah. So essentially, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So we just kicked back, had some drinks, chilled, chatted about life and a few things, and then from there, you know, after that, I think Elijah left, and you know, I walked him to the bus stop. You know, there's a bus stop not too far from by me. You know, but at the same time, we were talking to this friend of ours. You know, Ray. We were chatting with Hans on a call, because Elijah knows Hans as well. So we were just all on a call chatting and catching up a bit, and then Elijah left, and then, you know, I sort of just relaxed back in the house. I tried to get some rest. You know, my sister and brother-in-law took the boys out for like to play at the park, and they went out and they played and they had a good time. And
that's good.
Generally, yeah, I think this past weekend I tried my best to just rest. I really didn't get up to anything. And then Monday I had to go back out to the office, and I get to the office on Monday, and it's obviously not the best of Mondays. I'm just sort of like, oh, I don't want to be here right now. But,
oh, really?
Yeah. I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm in the office, and the CEO says to me, you know, he's taking me off of a project that we were working on, a video shoot, which for me I was happy for, because of the fact that it meant I could have time to focus on other things, you know, less responsibility. But then after he left, I get a phone call from Thai school. Apparently he fell down. So the call went basically like this. It was like, "Hi, is this Ty's dad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, talk to me. Is he all right?" That's the first thing. I was like, "Is he all right?" And they're like, usually I get a call from his school, and when I ask that question, they say, "Yeah, he's fine. He just bumped into a table, or he was running and hit his leg on something. So when you come to pick him up, just to let you know that he's gonna have a bruise, but he's fine." All right. So usually I get those calls. I'm accustomed to them. But when she said no, I was like, "Sorry, what?" I was like,
"Oh, okay."
I was like,
"That's not what you want to hear."
No, what you want to hear, especially when you're in another town, because I wasn't home. Because if I get a call like that, I'm out the door in a heartbeat. I just grab my, just put on a jumper, grab some trainers, and I'm out the door. But I'm in Oxford.
Exactly.
And Oxford, from my house to Oxford, or from his school to Oxford, is approximately we're looking at least an hour in transit time. Yeah. Right? Because you have it's 20 minutes from the office to the train station, and 20 minutes from on the train to Reading, and then another maybe 10 minutes to get to the school. So in total, you're looking at an hour. And I don't know how fast I was going, but our office manager she heard me talking on the phone, and she kind of overheard what I was talking about. And she's like, "Is your son okay?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "You gotta go." And she's like, "You have to go, Q." I was like, I know, I'm just trying to, but I was really thankful, because I was thinking to myself, when I was having the call, I was just thinking, how am I going to explain to them, "Hey, I need to go. I haven't been in the office for a while. I've come back in this Monday and I have to go again." But she was just so gracious, and I got to leave. And I shouldn't say I got to leave, I left. Because if she had said no, I would have probably still left anyway. I was like, "Look, it is what it is." But Eric ended up picking him up from school and taking him to the GP to A&E, which the hospital, and I ended up I met them there. So I cycled. I was breaking red lights, Raj. I was just like going.
Oh, dude!
I was going quick. Granted, I was looking when I was going past those red lights. Like as I was coming up to the red light, I looked. There's nothing coming there. There's nothing coming there. Straight across. Which usually I wouldn't do something like that. Usually I'd be like, I'll wait. But that on Monday I was just like, nah, screw it, I need to go. So when I got back to Reading, I got to the hospital. Ty's sitting there with Eric. He's all quiet. We had a chat, and Eric ended up leaving. Me and Ty just came back in the hospital. They did some X-rays. They checked on him, made sure he was okay. He had a bit of swelling and a bruise and all that kind of stuff. So I kept him home. Kept him an extra day, just to sort of keep an eye on him and make sure that he's okay. And
so he was home like yesterday then?
Yeah, he was.
Tuesday.
He was. So I mean, but he's making a it's not as bad as it's
Well, wait, did he? What happened?
So he said what I was told is he was playing tag with a friend, and he slipped on a stone or a rock or something and fell down a rock or a twig, and fell down and injured his foot. His arm. And I was just like, when I saw the X-rays and I saw there was nothing broken, they said there might be something. They can't tell for sure, but it looks like there's like swelling on the bone or something like that. So they said just keep an eye on him and just monitor it. So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, it didn't look like anything like a pure fracture or anything like that. So that was good.
Good.
So I was happy about that. But you know what? Mr. Man came home right from the hospital and still ran down the stairs and fell down. And I'm like, "Mate, you just got injured. Why are you running downstairs, mate? You're supposed to be like extra careful."
Yeah.
But no, Ty doesn't know extra careful. And Ty doesn't know about that word.
What is that? Yeah.
He knows nothing about that life.
Darn it.
So yeah, but other than that, that's kind of been the week for me, more or less. Not much to say about that. I think from there, I just want to just segue into some video gaming, since you guys are seeing some gaming on the screen that's not eFootball. Usually I'm showing eFootball gameplay on the screen, but I don't have any eFootball gameplay on the screen today because I haven't been capturing any new gameplay, because my capture card is not connected to my Xbox at the moment. I need to set that up inside here. It was set up in the office, but now that I've moved everything to my room, I've not set up any of that capture software and card and all that kind of stuff to run.
Yeah, okay.
So hence the reason I haven't captured any footage. But I have some old footage of a game called Mortal Kombat. And I installed this game on my Steam Deck. So I got it. Steam Deck's over there. Sorry. I was going to pick up the Steam Deck to show you guys. But generally speaking, I saw the game on sale for like £5 or something, or £3. It was like really cheap for Mortal Kombat 11 with all the DLC.
That's
and
nice.
I was like, ooh, that's quite tempting. Mortal Kombat, because I was like, I don't have Mortal Kombat on
tempting.
Steam.
Yeah.
I've got it on the Xbox, through Game Pass, but I was like, I don't own it on Steam. I mean, and if it runs good on the Steam Deck, so I went to YouTube, watched a video from a guy who was playing it on the Steam Deck OLED, and he was like, oh, it's running so good. And so I was like, because the game is listed as it doesn't work on Steam Deck. That's a load of BS.
Aha, okay.
I got it installed on my Steam Deck. It's big though. It's massive. It's like 100 and something gigs. So make sure you have space.
Oh, okay.
But I installed it. It runs amazingly. It's buttery smooth. I'm gonna probably play through the campaign mode in it. I haven't played it through a campaign mode in this Mortal Kombat in a while, so it's gonna be fun just to go through it on my Steam Deck. That, and I started playing some. I got GTA 4 on Steam Deck as well.
Oh, okay.
Which, not the biggest GTA fan, but it'll be cool to see how it runs on the Steam Deck. I've just been thinking about, just from a content creation perspective, of like, there are a lot of games that aren't listed as playable on the Steam Deck, and they are. And it would be nice to sort of like share that, because I use my Steam Deck a lot. I know what games work and what games don't work.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to sort of just put together something on that and share, that insight with people. So generally speaking, Mortal Kombat on the Steam Deck, it works. I have not run into any hiccups thus far. Street Fighter 4 as well on the Steam Deck, and this is one of the things I think I want to just highlight as well. A lot of people want to buy the newest version of every game, but sometimes the older versions, not bad. They're still pretty good. So like Mortal Kombat 11, even though Mortal Kombat 1 is out, 11 is still class, and same for Street Fighter 5 and 6. Street Fighter 5 is amazing. Street Fighter 6 is decent, is amazing too. But I mean, with Street Fighter 5, you can buy the Ultimate Edition of that game and get all the characters in it for like £6 or £5 or something. Same for Mortal Kombat.
That's great.
And the newer games, you spend at least £60 or £70, and then you still have to buy the DLC characters and that's carrying you up into the hundreds. So I think when it comes to fighting games, best advice: buy the last. Unless of course you're like a competitive fighting game player or something like that, just buy the old version. That one is
exactly
perfect. So
yeah, that's a good thing to do. I mean, I remember. I think we haven't, and I say we, me and Isaac used to play some NHL back in the days, like ice hockey, NHL, and we did just that when we had the period of years. You might say he was a bit younger, also he was still playing hockey himself, and then we bought the year before version because it's cheaper and you can get it for a better price.
Yeah,
I mean, you will miss on some players and things like that, or maybe a team, whatever that you decide to include. But if you're not really, as you said, really like hardcore, and you really then who the frack cares?
It doesn't
still
matter.
no. It's like So
I have a question though with regards to NHL. Is your hometown team that won recently, are they in NHL, in the latest NHL game?
No. This is NHL is well, it's America. That's the pro league over there. This is it's called SHL, which is the Swedish Hockey League.
So they're not representing the NHL game.
No. But the standard when it comes to, well, Swedish hockey has apparently, or obviously, due to the results, also doing well now in the World Championship at the moment. I think they were also able to get over quite a few professionals from NHL. There's a lot of Swedish players in the NHL since the 70s. It's like, so yeah, the standard is pretty high, to say the least. I saw two young guys, in their 20s now being drafted from my hometown team over to NHL. One was drafted to Detroit Red Wings. It's been quite a few Swedes through the years there, and another, I don't know the other guy where he went due to the draft, but yeah, so it's cool.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff. They are happy. I've been reading some articles after the win and everything, and of course it means a lot. They are now changing, talking about the line and everything, the new players. The good thing is my hometown team is still one of those teams that have very good youth organization department. So there's still a lot of players coming like from underneath up to the A team. And in some teams in Sweden and other countries as well, if you look like percentage wise, how many our players are their own material. Skellefteå, my team has, I think it's actually the has the most right now due to all teams in Sweden. Yeah, at least one of them, because there are so many, skilled young players that comes and actually also takes a spot in the A team. So of course they also have imports for sure. I mean, every team has that, but they are not as many as in some other cases, some other teams. So it brings another, I think that's nice because it brings another depth to the actual heart of the team. And of course, how you as a player also, it can be applicable also when it comes to football. If you have been, think about Messi being like a Barcelona product. I mean, of course, he has grown into his shirt, it's like, instead of getting bought from somewhere, and of course if you're professional, you will still do a good job, you will play for your team, but if I think you know what I mean, it's like it's still a difference. So those kind of things. But yeah, I kind of miss sometimes playing sports games. I haven't done that in a long time. I actually need to do that a bit. I haven't played football games for super long. That was Pro Evolution Soccer, like
I remember when you used to play it.
Yeah, you remember, right? We talked about that also back in the days.
Yeah,
because I also had that period when I went from from FIFA initially, and pretty soon I felt that no, I want to play Pro Evolution Soccer instead. So that I did.
Now I remember when you and Isaac used to create your own characters and stuff.
Yes. Oh my god.
It was a good time.
Well, it was mainly Isaac. I gotta give him. He's gonna have the credit for everything. He made a really funny versions of all the Swedish players. Oh my god! It was Zlatan he was very short and tiny and had like Rastafari hair. He looked very cool. Cool stuff.
It's cool stuff.
So,
just so I don't disappoint.
Customization is fun in games for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. I think as I've gotten older, I've spent less time doing it. But when I was younger, I used to love messing about with customizations.
Yeah, same here. I did spend some more time with that too. I don't think I've ever been a customization kind of guy. I don't know about you guys here in the chat, but I spend sometimes in certain games I've been spending some more time, but usually I just want to get to the point where I can play. So sometimes I even like I gotta randomize, and then if that's a feature, so it's like okay, let's go with that. It's okay. But I think we've talked about that as well. I mean, years has passed, and we most likely have touched base about everything, especially when it comes to gaming. But if I play a game, it might be FPS, and if I choose character, or if I play some other game, it could be whatever game. I tend to choose a female character. It's like it's always a female character.
I mean, what do you want to be looking at? I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. If I play third person, I want to see something nice in front of me.
I'm just saying, a man of culture.
I'm a man of culture. Men of culture. Here we are again. Yep, exactly. Something like that. Yeah.
Just so I don't disappoint the eFootball crowd, I have played a few matches of E. It has been a little bit better. I don't know if they've patched anything on here, but I've had a little bit more success in matches. I'm still not happy with the way it is right now, but I do feel like I can compete to a certain extent. I won a match. Good. I drew a match. So that was something.
Is it the same lineup? You have the same team, or have you made some changes? Or
it's one of my teams that I've been using before.
Yeah, one of your you have a few, I guess.
I've built different versions of different teams. So I've got like a Real Madrid team. I've got an Arsenal team. I've got a team for a little bit of everything. It's just sort of like whimsical stuff. I've got a team I call the Caribbean team, where it's basically has a bunch of players who either play for Caribbean countries, or they happen to have, like they could potentially represent a Caribbean country if they wanted to due to their parentage or whatever have you. And so forth.
Okay.
I've got teams for that as well. But generally, yeah, I've built out a few teams. There's one team called Good Hair Day. Everyone in that team has to have long hair. So if your hair isn't long, I've got a Polish goalkeeper called Drongowski in there. Drongowski, I think that's how you say his name. I've got a few other players.
Where is he? I mean, where's he from?
He's Polish.
Yeah, sure. But does he play in a
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know what club he plays for. I wasn't too concerned. But I just like the fact that he had like nice long stricken hair, and he had a massive Barbarossa beard. His beard was like that. And I was like, yeah, he's going in the team. So
of course he has the criteria for it. So let's get him.
That's it. It's just about the hair. I've got Gareth Bale in there because Gareth Bale had the long hair. I've got a few.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of the That's kind of fun. It's kind of what I've been doing with E. But yeah, I will be back in. I haven't been playing it as much, but I will be back playing it again a bit more soon, as well as the fact that I will be capturing more footage again as long as when I set back up my capture card. But yeah, what about you, Raj? What have you been playing?
I've also been playing an older game. You talked about some good old Mortal Kombat. Well, it's not that old. What you played? I played an older game from 2013. It's one of the Battlefield games. Battlefield 4, the Premium Edition. I also got this game cheap. I mean, I owned this game when it was released. I was playing Battlefield at this point of time still, and. But that's a long story. The short version is that I had an Origin account that was, there was problems with the mail address that didn't exist any longer because we changed provider, blah, blah, blah. And EA, they have their policies and I couldn't retrieve it. So I have quite a few games over there. But anywho, I bought the game some time ago now, maybe 1.5 years ago now. I bought it on Steam, and it was actually also now when I made a video about it on my channel just a few days ago, something. It was I think it was a sale or something, like only around £6 on Steam. Now it's back to normal price, I believe. But on the other hand, if you have EA Play, you can play it there, and also when it comes to Xbox Game Pass, for that sake. Which I have, but like 1.5 years ago, I don't think I was on that subscription. But anyhow, no, this is still a good game in my book. I remember when it was released, but it was criticized for a few things. It had a bit of problems also when it comes to the multiplayer aspect of the game, technical stuff. But they managed to fix that pretty well. And this is one of my, I would say, one of two favorite Battlefield games of all time. I think this game, BF4 and also BF1, are my two favorites. I mean, all games have flaws. We've talked about that, and Battlefield 4 has it as well. But it's still I just felt when I came back to the game and started to play, especially also got into combat and, the pew-pewing and the gunplay.
The pew-pewing.
The pew-pewing. It felt good. I was like, oh, shit, I've missed this, It's very straightforward. The Battlefield experience, it's built upon the immersive kind of environment of this big scale battle with vehicles like tanks and planes flying over your head and all that happening, like epic moments and big explosions and guns, guns, a lot of guns. So and they have been doing that very well. And also the thing is that the old model of these games were the class system, where you can play as an engineer, an assault or a medic or a recon sniper dude. And it made sense because if you are spending time playing a game like this, people tend to get into their roles pretty well. So if you die, you get revived and by a medic, and for that sake, if there's a engineer around, he will heal your tank, or fix your tank. You might be hurt by all the RPGs coming at you. So, but they left that in the new Battlefield game, 2042, and I'm just sometimes if it ain't broken, don't fix it. As I say in the video, you can definitely be innovative and still like do new things and whatever have you, but they have been growing with this concept of a game, this style of an FPS game for so long that I feel it's like, why? I mean, just figure if they would have just continued where they left off with, for example, Battlefield 4. Sure, they released Battlefield 5 also. I've talked about that before. It didn't really do that well, even though it has also kind of, how do you say, gained some ground later years. But imagine if they would have continued the kind of quest or journey they did with this game also into 2042, then we wouldn't have had the problems that came with the game, and numbers would still maybe be good when it comes to player count, because it has to be said, there are almost more players. I say almost, depends on what stats you're looking at, if it's only PC only or consoles as well, but it's almost more people playing this game in 2024, even though it was released in 2013, than there are current players playing Battlefield 2042. And it's definitely more players playing Battlefield 1 than 2042. And that goes because now also DICE is working on their newest Battlefield game, which will be released 2025. And so they have now also announced that there won't be any new content or support to a certain extent when it comes to 2042. So it's like over. It's what you have there is what you get.
Yeah.
They put out a new DLC, but also what you can see, I went in and checked like content. At this point of time, they were still releasing a lot of DLCs, like big stuff, big packs. You really got the player value was like high. With some of the newer games, it's very like, well, 1-2 maps, okay, and what else? It's like
they're already thinking about where they can get you with more, like to spend more money. So I think with a lot of the newer games as well is when they release a new game. So let's say Battlefield, 7 or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
When it comes out, they can say, oh, this is a new game, pay 70 quid for it, and then, oh, by the way, they will have DLC for like, they'll call it seasons, and they'll probably have like 2 seasons, and then they'll see a drop in player retention or sales or whatever they have, and then they decide, let's just cut it and start Battlefield 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or whatever have you and so forth. And I've been seeing a lot with a lot of these games where you have like that sort of season thing. I mean, every now and then you have a game that is supported long into it. I think a good example of one that was supported really well was One Piece Pirate Warrior 4. I think that game has been supported quite well. It has been getting new updates throughout the life of it. I think a lot of Japanese games, the good ones, the ones that do well, get a lot of updates with DLC. I think the last Naruto game had poor. It was not very well received because a lot of people were saying it was just sort of like a cash grab.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, is what they do. They keep trying to find ways to get you to pay more money and so forth.
It's true. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you are right. It's a good example and what you're talking about there. And as you say there now, well, after everything after Battlefield 4 stunk. But as I said, I did enjoy Battlefield 1 as well. I still consider it to be a pretty good game. I know not everyone does, but the taste is different, of course. But I can still enjoy it. And it was released in 2016, I believe, or was it something like that? But anywho, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. I know it's a very, very ambitious project. They have even more different studios, I would say, involved now for this upcoming project of the new Battlefield for next year. And especially for the single player experience as well. So, yeah. I mean, let's see. But let me say this. I think I maybe have said this before, but I think after the problems, we try to be that diplomatic here, with the latest release, 2042, then I think they can't afford to blow it up or do mistakes this time around. Next release has to be solid. It has to be good. Otherwise, I don't think they're gonna do well at all.
Otherwise, so just pack it up.
Yeah. Because as you're writing here, EA wants to add to their games. So, well, oh my god. I mean, as you said, they're always Yeah, there was always more cash to grab, I guess, and if they can, they sometimes are yeah, they will do that.
They'll do what they can. They'll do as
Yeah,
much as we let them, honestly. And also,
yeah, that too.
welcome to the chat, Karen. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, they'll do as much as you want. I saw an article about that whole EA thing as well. So
Yeah,
but I think at the end of the day, the best thing we can do as gamers is to avoid the things that we don't like. Don't buy them.
true.
Don't talk about them, because one of the things I learned working in the press is any news is good news for a company when it comes to press. So even if you give a bad review of a game and you say it's terrible, there are going to be a bunch of people who are going to hear about that game for the first time from you, and then some of them are going to pick it up. So any press is good press.
True. Yeah.
So the more
it's still
we
a
talk,
kind of marketing in a way. So yeah,
it is a sign of marketing. At the end of the day, because the more people you have talking about it, the more it encourages that kind of behavior. So I think the best thing that we can do as because I see there are some YouTubers who their whole channel is made about covering those sort of things, and I understand building awareness and stuff like that, which is cool. But I think if it's constantly just that, I think what you're inadvertently doing is promoting what you don't want, because there are going to be some people who are going to stumble upon it, and maybe they don't like you, or maybe they just never heard of it, and they're like, well, I don't want to listen to what this person has to say. I want to see it for myself, and then they'll pick it up. So the best thing you can do is not buy it. Don't spend your money on something that you don't like, and allow it to die a nice, slow, and quiet death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we can do as like consumers, the ones buying. But I think also, and we talked about that before also, since I mean, you've been doing probably more than me, but if we talk about reviewing games, and we've had a discussion about that. I think though it's a good I think it's good to of course be honest, but also you can say things in different ways, and we all know that we have different what I'm trying to say is, just because one game isn't my cup of tea and I don't really like it, doesn't mean that it would be a bad game for you per se. And I just feel that sometimes, especially now in times like this, it's very so polarized. Once in a while it gets like, it's like it really sucks, it really stinks, whatever you do, don't buy this game, and that's all you hear, and you don't really so what is the reason then? And you never really got to understand what's the reason. It's just bad. Okay, bad. What, in what way? In what way is it bad?
What makes it bad?
If you know what I mean. So yeah, I've seen a few of those, and it's like if you're going to do something like that, at least try to be constructive and really break it down, or at least explain what you mean by saying that. That's my bottom line. So
no, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some film, Rog. Let's talk about some Tele. Let's see what we've been watching this week.
For sure.
I'm gonna go first. I've been watching an anime called. I'm gonna pull up the name because I forgot it already. it's the title of the episode, but I forgot it already.
Was it that bad? No.
Yeah, to me it was.
It was. There we go. Yeah.
So I've been watching Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. It's an anime about this this young lady who is taken she's given to these beasts as a sacrifice for the King of the Beasts to eat her, basically. And it's supposed to be like a romantic thing, like Beauty and the Beast, I guess, is kind of like the concept behind it. That's at least that's the vibe I'm getting from it anyway. Okay. But I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. For one, the female lead, she's very lolly. For those who don't know the anime, lolly characters are usually characters that look like young girls, even though they're probably not. So they can They could be a full-grown adult, but they will look very young. She's very lolly looking. I'm not a fan of lollies. Don't find them quite interesting characters. So she looks very lolly, which makes me uncomfortable, because the King of the Beast, who seems to be like the main guy in it, like the romantic sort of like person, he's giant. He's like a giant to her. He's massive. So to me, it's just sort of like, I don't know. I don't feel it. And also, like the beast creatures look like pure beasts. Usually, when you see like beast creatures in anime, like they kind of have like maybe they have horns or they have like a cat ear or a dog ear, but they look like
Oh,
people.
that's true.
These guys look like animals and anthropomorphic. It just looks weird.
Blasphemy.
I don't know. Visually, this is not working for me. Like looking at this anime, the visuals of it is just not working for me. It's an 8.2 on IMDb. On my anime list, which is really high. For me personally speaking, after just one episode, which I struggled through, it's at best for me a 5. It's a 5 at best.
Okay.
It is bare average in my. Now, this may be really good. And maybe if you're into lolicons and you're into giant beast men, maybe this works for you. But for me, I don't know, man. I felt cringe the whole time I was watching this. I was just like, ugh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
No, that's not a pleasant feeling.
But yeah, I would love to know what you guys think. If you guys have seen the anime, what do you think about it? I think Nalu says something about what says. I agree, Q. I couldn't get into that one either. Exactly, it's weird, right? It's weird. Is Ghost of Tsushima PC locked in all areas? Is it in Sweden, Raj?
Yeah, it's here. It's here. Actually, I didn't know that Ghost of Tsushima would be Tsushima. I think is going to be released tomorrow.
Is it?
So, yes, it's tomorrow. You can pre-purchase the game, director's cut. Don't pre-purchase that. I'm kidding.
Never do.
It looks really good. I think for me, it's gonna be like I need to upgrade my PC first. It's like, but I have had this game on my radar. I mean, for sure.
It's on mine. It's on mine. But
hopefully, it's gonna be a good game. Definitely by Sucker Punch Productions.
I think it might be
PlayStation PC. Yeah,
I think it might be good. My thing with it though is that I could get it for less. Steam has it for £49.99. I'm pretty sure I could get this through another website for less.
Most likely. From what I see here right now, I'm not logged in or anything. So, but it says here. On my end, it's like if we're talking the director's cut, the pre-purchase, then it's €60. So yeah,
I'm seeing for £38.99 on CD Keys.
Oh, okay. That's a bit less.
It's a bit like because of this game, like I will pick this up at some point, but this is not a day one for me. This is something I can wait to play. Because, and I would say this for a lot of people, when it comes to a lot of PlayStation games coming to PC, a lot of them get slashed really severely not too long after release.
Yes.
God of War was that happened with God of War. I think the only game I've seen not get slashed too much was it Uncharted, I think? Because
could be.
Because I got what do you call it? Ratchet and Clank for like 20, I think I paid 24, 25 right? Not too long after launch. I think
okay.
It was maybe a couple months down the line, and then I got it for like 24, 25. And unless you're rushing to get those games, you don't have to have it day one. God of War is you can get God of War pretty cheap these days. You can get Horizon Zero Dawn pretty cheap. You can get Marvel Spider-Man pretty cheap. I think Miles Morales is 18 quid on average, and then they go on sale all the time as well. So generally speaking, I would say if Ghost of Tsushima is something that you're keen on, I would say pick up Yakuza. I'd say pick up Like a Dragon, Ishin, because you'll probably get that cheaper. Play a bit of that, and then when Ghost of Tsushima drops in price, grab it.
Yeah. I'm not buying it tomorrow for sure. I'm gonna wait and see. Yeah. First off, what people think about it, that's one thing, but also, just chill and breathe a bit.
Chill and breathe a bit, indeed. They're saying that it links, they're linking it to your PlayStation account. It doesn't bother me linking to my PlayStation account. I mean, I've got a PlayStation account, so, and my PlayStation account has, like, I know a lot of people have the thing with that, PlayStation has been hacked before and blah, 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 and their information and all that kind of stuff. But I generally like to think in this world, there's nothing you have that's private anymore. I honestly don't think you've got information, no matter how much you want to think, I'm protecting myself, still have the internet. Honestly, if you
Exactly.
if you
No,
really want to
it's
protect yourself, stay up the internet. Don't have a credit card. Don't go on Amazon. Don't buy shit online. Don't not like that's the only way you can think that your information is safe because
yeah, but
everywhere
the world
else.
has always been like this. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, if you have a house, locks and whatever have you, and alarms and everything, but you can still get robbed. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yep.
like the same here. You have passwords, you have whatever VPN, you have you know, these two-step verification stuff. But even so, you know, you never know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you never know.
Mhm.
Been there, done that. You know,
Yep.
all these years I've been doing YouTube, my channel has been hacked. Is it 2 or 3 times? You know.
Yep.
One time was my own fault, but the other two, not. Well, not my own fault, but I wasn't cautious. That's basically it. That's another story.
Was it a Nigerian prince who offered to give you $1 million if you could send him access to your YouTube account?
No, not one of those. Those no, it was nothing like that. But it's interesting when we talk about gaming like this in general. Also, with Sony and EA and everything, all these big companies, as you say now, though, Sony has it locked behind Link in it with a PSN account. There we go again. That story never seems to end, does it now?
Oh, you
and
mean
also, as you say, Ricos and Rosan, talking about having time to game, that's also a thing. I talked about that just the other day also in my stream, because I just said, well, I mean, I still like to play video games. I mean, it sounds almost weird that I need to say that, but at the same time, it is not any longer as it was before.
Yeah.
Because I make content all the time, and it's a half-time kind of job, partly for me.
Yeah.
And with that said, I rarely have time just to play. It doesn't happen often where I have a game that I play on the side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Once in a while I do, and I enjoy those moments. I really, really do, because then I just play something that I just want to play, and no one else gonna bother or care about it. I can play whatever I want, however I want.
Yep.
You know, things like that. It might sound weird for if you're not doing what I am doing, but that's how it is. So time is one thing for sure. Even if you aren't doing content creation, it can still be really hard. You might be studying a lot, you might be working a lot, you might have family in addition to that, and then it's got to be hard, you know, because you're always busy with other things. It's the what do you say, cycle of life. For me, I've been going through that, and also, but still being able to a certain extent do gaming, obviously. But of course, also I then went like through or got to the threshold or whatever you want to call it. That I mean, my sons got older, so you know they could manage more or less themselves, and then I could finally sit down by the PC a bit again and play a game or two.
You're like, freedom, it's mine now.
Yeah, it's mine, only mine.
And I think as well, in response to what Nalu mentioned about the fact that 180 countries don't have access to PSN, and they don't, which means they don't have access to the game. Pirate that shit. Like, it's like, you know,
yeah.
I'm just saying, if
they
you
were
again.
I can understand why people do that when this shit happens. It's the same, like we've talked, you and I, sorry, now I got a bit upset. The same thing with all this stuff. We talked about the region locked bullshit when it comes to, we're soon getting into movies and TV series and stuff like that, right? You know, I see, oh, I can watch this on Netflix. Good, I've been looking forward to this. And then I go, oh yeah, I can't watch it because I live in Sweden. Why? You know,
it's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's honestly horrible. But for me, the thing is that, look, if you have the money, you're willing to pay for it the legal way, and they don't afford you the opportunity or the ability to consume it in that legal way.
Exactly.
I honestly pass no judgment on someone pirating it. Like, for me, look, at the end of the day, they didn't allow or facilitate for you to consume it. And when I grew up in the Caribbean, you know, when I was younger, that was a thing. It was a clear thing back then.
Yeah.
A lot of games you would get were pirated because of the fact that the access to games just they didn't allow for it. We couldn't connect to servers. We couldn't download stuff. So you pirated it.
Yeah.
But as soon as it became like legal, you know, when they had the facilities there for people to access it, that's when people started paying for games. You know, that's when you had, you know, me and my friends and family also started paying games. You know, paying for the stuff that we used to pirate. You know. As Karen put it, that's why I pay for a VPN as well.
Yeah.
Which also helps as well. But I think, honestly speaking, I wouldn't even go the extra mile if they're willing to block me out. I think if they're willing to, unless of course I really, really want it on my Steam account, and like specifically maybe I want to play it on my Steam Deck. I understand that. But other than that, nah, man. And I think the thing with Steam as well, if I'm correct, when it comes to Steam accounts, when you want to switch between, like, I think you can switch your region a couple times a year or something like that. And it switches the whole store and everything like that, your financials, everything. So I've had to switch mine a few times going between the Caribbean and here in the UK. And yeah, I am not switching it back because it creates a bunch of crap errors when it comes to making pictures in the future.
It can mess things up. I've heard others say the same thing.
Yeah. So again, I'm not saying that you have to do this, but look, if you want to play Ghost of Tsushima and you can't buy it in your country, your boy ain't mad if you pirate that shit. And if you can't afford it in your country, my best advice is pick that shit up on sale. That game has been out for ages, number one. And number two, numero dos, PlayStation games go on sale on PC all the time. So you might as well just grab that on a sale instead of grabbing it full price. You are not saving anybody, you know, because at the end of the day, Sony's already made their money for Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5, right? Yeah. You are just giving them extra, right? That's extra money on top of what they've already made on that game.
It's the cherry on the cake money.
Yeah. So don't feel bad if you don't buy it day one, unless of course you're that big a fan of the developers and you want to give them your money. But outside of that, nah, hold out, you know. Tele, back to Tele. Rog, I've already spoken about what I've been watching, which was that anime called Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. What have you been watching?
I've been rewatching. Actually, I did that together with my youngest son Isaac. We are both we enjoy, you know, like some zombie movies and horror movies once in a while. I think last time I talked about, I talk about the newest Godzilla movie, Godzilla 1 movie, I think. Anywho, we went back watching an older film. This is from 2002. And the movie that I'm talking about is called 28 Days Later.
Heard about that.
This is a good one. This is actually a good one. And I've heard now that we will get a new movie in this. I almost say series because they've made two. They made 28 Days Later, and just yesterday we watched the sequel, which is 28 Weeks Later. Ooh. Now it's going to be 28 years later coming up. And I think they're going to, like, because there's no, I can't say because then I spoil. Okay, let's put like there's a scene in the end of the sequel, 28 Weeks Later. The kind of it's gonna maybe lead into something else, and I guess that's where they gotta take off when they're now actually recording, filming 28 years later, because I do think it's actually that long time, so it's going to make sense. And therefore some of because there might be a returning actor or two coming. And in the first movie from 2002, the guy that we might see again is actually Cillian Murphy. I think you guys know who he is.
Yeah, I've seen that right now.
and I like him. Yes. I like him. He is Jim in 28. Well, if you talk about the first movie now, 28 Days Later. And what I can say is that it starts off like it's 4 weeks after a kind of mysterious and incurable virus that spreads throughout the UK. So it's in the UK. A handful of survivors that tries to find sanctuary. Because this guy, that I can say without spoiling. If you've seen a trailer or whatever, you will see that he more or less wakes up and what the frack has happened? One of those moments. And I can, sometimes we talk about dreams and have you ever dreamt that you are the last man on earth or something like that? And this is definitely one of those moments. Now, this is good. I like this. I think it has also a special kind of, because it's a British production. I think in the second movie, 28 Weeks Later, it's a combo between UK and the US for sure. And I'm getting to that, but it's kind of, I can feel that because the second movie is missing out on something that the first movie had. Also the style of filming, actually. It's a bit grainy and almost like you feel that you are almost in a documentary. Not an ambition in the way of filming, but more how it looks. But anywho, it has a 7.5 on IMDb, and I will give it a 7.5 or close to an 8. I like this movie, and I'm also looking forward to the 28 years later, especially since I do know, as Isaac told me, that Cillian Murphy will be back as a bit of an older gentleman. And just, the sequel is also interesting. And I say interesting, I like the first half of the movie, like maybe 40 minutes. And then they do some weird things, when you feel like, why did they do that? There's a person coming back. I'm not spoiling. And they kill this person off in a strange way, and it doesn't really make sense why she was there in the first place.
Spoilers.
So it's like
spoilers.
Yeah, but you still can't track it, even though I said that, because you won't understand.
I know there's
even
a
though
she.
When you watch it.
Oh no, I'm gonna be thinking all the women are gonna die. I'm like, oh, is it gonna be her? Is it gonna be her?
All the women are gonna die. There won't be any reproducing here.
I want to also say what's got me keen on this one, more so than even Cillian Murphy, is actually Christopher Eccleston. Those of you who know him, he's played the Doctor in Doctor Who, and he was one of my favorite Doctors. So I am more keen on Christopher being in this.
Yeah, he's really good here as well. That I can say without spoiling anything. This is good. It's definitely worthwhile if you are into a catastrophe kind of zombie infected kind of movie like this. Definitely, then you should check out at least 28 Days Later. And if you get the taste for it, then you can go ahead, watch 28 Weeks Later, the sequel, which is from 2007, by the way. And then next year, maybe, who knows how long it will take to finish the 28 Years Later movie then.
You can get tickets to go see it in the theaters, apparently.
What?
It's playing in theaters here in the UK 28 Days Later.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. Is it like is it a special kind of theater that are putting that up? I mean, it's an old movie.
I know, like a couple of theaters are showing. I'm just seeing a few. They're not in my town, but in some towns near me. That I can get to.
Wow.
They're all on the 21st though. So next Tuesday, they're all wow. So I guess because there are some theaters that do that where they play older movies. There's one in town called the Biscuit Factory. They have new movies, but then they have like certain screens that are dedicated to like classics, and they'll have like a classic playing for the week.
Same here in Stockholm. Yeah, it's that's cool. I like that. I like that they do that actually. And nice to hear that you also like zombie shows. Rear Entry. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Didn't finish The Walking Dead and Fear of. No, but the same here. Maybe, or I'm not sure but me and Q watched in the start, you might say, of Walking Dead. We talked a lot about The Walking Dead in the podcast. Those were the days. But then I think I was in there a bit longer than you.
Yeah, I stopped after. I won't spoil it for people. But I'll say I stopped after. Because I'm trying to say this without spoiling for people.
Yeah, but it's an old series now. Hasn't more or less anyone that wants to watch it?
I stopped after Glenn. After Glenn, I stopped. So
that was.
After Glenn, that was it. That's when I checked out. I was like, look, I'm good. I don't need to see anymore. I'm done with this series. It's dead to me.
And I can understand you definitely. I watched a bit longer, but not very, very much longer. And then I just felt that I definitely enjoyed. I might maybe if I went back and hooked up again, it would be something for me, since I do like the genre and I do like I said, horror movies, zombie movies, stuff like that. It's always been fascinating for me. But we'll see. Yeah, Negan is a cool character. It went a bit downhill for sure. I just feel if I am not like, I don't have problems with. I've seen a lot of violent movies. I want to say that first. I've seen some slashers. I don't mind when I don't mind. Oh, that sounds. I'm gonna rephrase myself. I can take that. I'm used to blood and stuff in movies. However, the scene that I think Q is referring to, Glenn, Abraham, I think it was too much. Actually, I don't think that you would understand that bad shit was happening, and they could have just done it in a different way. I didn't like that they portrayed it like that, like so visual, especially when it comes to Glenn.
For me,
If I may say
I
so.
wasn't even bothered about that. For me, what bothered
You
me,
weren't?
no, not really. I think what bothered me more was that Rick kept making really bad decisions, and a lot of characters that I liked, were facing the consequences for not Rick, and that pissed me off because I was like, he's making poor decisions. He's putting his team in bad positions and so forth. And then you have characters who you've built up this relationship with for so long, and then they go. And despite the fact, like I think in a good example of something like that where characters you're losing characters along the way, but you're still enjoying the show, was Game of Thrones up until the last season when they decided to destroy it. Because in Game of Thrones, I was conditioned to like be like, look, everyone is expendable. For The Walking Dead, I felt like there was some characters who were like, this is the core. Some of these other guys can go, but this is the core. And Glenn was core to me. And then I think when, especially that whole, he was there from the first episode, man. Like, and then you take Glenn away, and I'm just like, oh, man. And Rick is still there? Ugh.
Okay, you felt like that, yeah. In a way, I can appreciate when series do the you might call it the unexpected, killing off, like you might even say main characters. I mean, Game of Thrones kind of did that, didn't they? And I kind of liked that, but I don't know. Yeah, as said, it's. I just remember that scene, and it was like, oh, okay, get it. but whatever, it's yeah, but as you say, you're pointing towards something that added to it. Like it was for me. Yeah, I also lost, like, because I think if you're gonna stick with the series, you really have to feel for certain people or characters in the series. Otherwise, you kind of move away or whatever have you. It's not the same any longer.
Yeah.
You
definitely
need to be engaged.
You do.
Yeah, Rob Stark was great. Yeah, I was actually thinking about him, to be honest. Yeah, to mention one. Yes, definitely, for sure. I see that, talking about series, I just want to say this. I think, which is a series with people have a lot of opinions, myself, when it comes to the Lord of the Rings series. That will come back now with a new season, I think in June. And another series might even look forward much more to that. It's The Boys are coming back in June as well.
No, I'm good with that. I'm happy with The Boys. No, that's a series that's been going good. I hope they don't ruin it. I know a lot of series have been ruined. You get invested, you get a good few seasons in, and then they just decide to change the whole thing. Hopefully, The Boys sticks to its to what they've been doing. I think, to be honest, I think if of all the streaming platforms, I think who's been doing the best stuff when it comes to like original series has been Amazon, to be honest. I think Prime has had some of the like I'm just speaking for myself. I don't know about other people, in the sense, like, I know you and Roger, you and I, we've discussed it, and I know we kind of see things in a similar light with regards to stuff like this. But I think of all the streaming platforms, like, you have The Boys on Prime. You also had I'm actually trying to pull up my Prime right now as I'm talking about it. You had what's that called again? Invincible was another one.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Oh, I will be watching that. Yeah, we talked about it before. Definitely.
Really good. You have Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is also pretty good.
Like it. Would like to see more. Hope it's gonna happen. Yeah.
That's pretty good. You have what else was on there that was pretty good? That series with the car guys. I watch a lot of it.
Yeah.
The Grand Tour.
Yeah. Grand Tour. Yeah.
Grand Tour was pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good.
Definitely.
No,
but you are right. I agree with you. I think like if we look Yes, they have. Yes, they have a lot of good, like quality stuff for sure. That's why I'm still actually paying for the Amazon subscription for sure.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Keeping it.
Even Reacher is pretty good.
Reacher, yes, I really liked Reacher. Yeah,
Reacher is good. Fallout is been hearing good things about Fallout. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I approve. Yeah, we've talked about it.
So I would say if you can only afford to have one subscription right now, I actually would recommend you take Prime, right? And then if you could only afford two, I'd say take Prime and get Crunchyroll.
That could be. Yeah. It, of course, that's always depends on what you're looking for, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Prime and Crunchyroll. I'd say the one lowest on the cutting board is actually Disney Plus. I'd say that's probably the lowest for me.
Yeah, there was a period of time when I thought about switching over a bit for a while. But we're still sticking to. Actually, we also have HBO. I have been, but it's been less there now for me for a while. It also depends on where we're at with certain series. You know how it is. Okay, I watched this. I have to wait a year, and then it will
cancel it for the year. We'll get it next year when it comes back. Just cancel it.
You know how that is. Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So I think we've got a show, haven't we?
We have a show.
An episode.
I think we do. I hope you feel that as well, guys. As always, it's so nice to have you around here to chat and to talk about some great stuff, and especially passions of ours when it comes to playing video games and of course good Tele for sure. I might even watch. I've talked about this Yellowstone series that I'm still watching with my wife. I'm gonna hear if she want to watch an episode with me after we've done here.
He's gonna say like, wife, you want to watch what Yellowstone?
Yeah, wife, you want to watch this series with me? Yeah, with the cowboys. Yeah.
You know what? One of these weeks, what I'll do is I'll call Annalie and I'll tell her like, distract you on Thursday, and then Annie and I will do the podcast. That'd be perfect.
That would be something. That's pretty funny.
It would be funny.
Oh man,
it would be funny, and then she'll come out and be like, "Raj, let's watch Yellowstone." Like
exactly.
Just finish the podcast.
Why not?
Yes. You know what? I could swap me out for Alex, and you swap yourself out for Andy, and they'll just be the Mrs. podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sure the listeners would love that. They'd be like, "Oh, perfect."
Or we just let your missus and my missus do the podcast, and we go to pub and drink a lot of beer together.
Say no more. I'm down. I'm signed up. I'm ready for it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this. Makes me think about buying a beer right now. Actually, I'm actually feeling.
Yeah, you see, I'm starting to get thirsty again. It is hot here today, and these lamps that I have produces warmth. So I'm starting to. I need to. I don't have any more water either. So
it's run out. Usually, by the time the podcast is ending, you can see outside. It's so bright. Like it's actually summerish now. Like it's
still light. It's still bright. True. No, that's how it is now.
The sun is out. It's bright. It's warm. Temperature right now is 17, and it's minutes to 9. Nice. It's like 9 p.m. and it's 17.
Darn it, we have 20 still. Yeah.
You got 20. You're hotter than me.
Yeah. Once in a while it happens for sure. It's 2 degrees cold. What? It's 2 degrees colder than today. No, my bad. I'm stupid. I was checking the forecast. It's for tomorrow. It's gotta be 20 degrees tomorrow. Jesus. I need to learn how to use my phone properly. But okay, should we call it a day, Q? Yeah, we wrap up. Thank you guys again for watching. Take care now. I wish you all the best. I hope you're going to have a beautiful week. Have fun, enjoy life as always, and we talk soon again next time. So with that said, muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. And with that, I just want to say it is summer because I'm just looking at the month. And it's looking like the lowest temperature we're getting in the coming weeks is going to be 15 degrees. Which is good. Not
We're
bad.
Getting somewhere.
Your boy is, I'm just saying. Actually, no, that's not even this week. That was last 2 weeks. It's actually going to be 15. It's gonna be 17, 26, 19. Nope, it's summer. I'm calling it now. It's summer right now, guys. It's
officially
yes. Summer. Summer came early this year because it's May and it's already summer temperatures. June is looking at 21. It's staying summer. July, yes. Summer, August,
beautiful,
summer.
Beautiful.
Oh, we've got summer early this year, love alert. Why am I excited? I hate summer.
No, you don't. It's just certain parts, you know.
The bugs, man, the bugs. They've been coming in my house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Damn house. I've been seeing people in my house leaving windows open. Eric, T, I see you people leaving my windows open in my kitchen, letting the bugs in.
Ouch.
So yeah,
don't let the bugs in. Like the opposite around from let the dogs out. Don't let the bugs in. You got it. You got it. You got it. No, that was bad. But anywho, Q, we gotta. I have a series to watch with my wife.
Did you do? Did we do the outro? I can't even remember.
No. I've done it. I've said mine. It's up to you now.
I thought we were gonna stay longer. I see Red put in Tai in the chat. Don't be calling my son's name in the chat. What's wrong with you? So with that, let's thank you very much for everyone who tuned up for the podcast. I appreciate you guys a lot. If you want to if you're listening to this in post, we appreciate you guys for coming around and listening in post and leaving a comment. If you watch it in post, leave comments. We'll reply to the comments. If you're listening live, then of course you're commenting right now and you're amazing. And those of you who listen in post, you are also amazing. Don't think that you're less amazing because listening in post. I know how life is. He says thank you. Anyway,
the meaning.
Yes.
Don't forget to leave a like. That helps us out as well. Please
leave a like and share the podcast. And subscribe to the channel so you can get the new episodes and so forth. If you have YouTube Music on your phone, which you probably should, because you can listen to it in audio format and then switch to video like on the fly, which I think is super cool. We'll see how long that lasts because YouTube is finicky and Google just cancels things all the time, but it is what it is. But with that, thank you very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, you can find Roger pretty much everywhere at 40 Split Splash. That's number 40 with ISPL, ISH, SPL, ESH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday. That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
Oof, beautiful.
Bullseye.
You can find me pretty much everywhere else at LP Gardens, Garden.u. I'm not streaming at the moment. I will be putting up stuff on LP Garden on YouTube. I keep saying that I'm going to put stuff up, and I haven't been. I know I've been supposed to be putting stuff up, but I've been falling behind on that. But I will be finding time. It's just this whole work-life balance I'm trying to figure out, and that's the reason I haven't been.
It is hard.
It is quite hard, quite difficult indeed. So with that, guys, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. As always, you can find us at Simply Binge UK, pretty much everywhere else. And those who wouldn't like you guys to miss another episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast, maybe you would like to subscribe to this podcast and capital. I haven't done that in a while.
I
haven't slipped up on it in a while. I've been good.
Exactly.
Let me try again. Start
you can do it. Try it again. Right? Get on the horse.
As always, we wouldn't like you guys to miss out on any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like to subscribe to this podcast on Acast, Spotify, iTunes, Simply Binge, YouTube, and elsewhere. And what's the company they're gonna like it that we're giving it for free? So as always, guys, this has been queued for your pleasure. It's a wrap. That's the episode. I've messed it up. I know I've done something in there. Some kind of words. You know what? I would love to see YouTube's comment thing generator, like try to make sense of what I'm saying when I'm doing that, like the captions.
Yeah, right.
I am nervous because you're here, right? I'm definitely nervous because you're here. Go back and listen to the beginning of the podcast where you were mentioned. But yes, I get quite nervous when you're here, you know. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Roger's gonna go do husbandly stuff and by watching a movie with his wife, and I am going to be I'm gonna get the beer.
Sounds great. Yeah, I need something to drink as well. I'm sweaty. Yeah.
Pretty much. You guys get going. We'll catch you guys later. Make sure to leave your like and share the podcast before you leave. Of course, I haven't seen the likes go up yet, so I'm just gonna hope you guys are gonna do it as you
need a thumbs up.
Yeah, and just give us some likes and share the podcast with 50 other people that you know. Tell them they need to listen to it. or I will be sad, and so will Roger, and that wouldn't be good for us.
True.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's get out of here, Roger. My room is getting dark, and I don't want to turn on the light.
No.